Did you know that in Australia 4.4 million people live with a disability? That's almost 1 in 5. This means that whether you realise it or not, people with disabilities do fall into your target market. Remember that when we're talking about accessibility, we're not just talking about people who use wheelchairs. Making your business more accessible means considering the needs of people with mobility needs, people with hearing or vision impairments, and people with invisible disabilities such as autism. Having good accessibility information on your website could be the deciding factor in whether or not someone chooses to engage with your business. There are a couple of different things that you can do to ensure that your website caters to people with disabilities. If you have a brick and mortar location for your business, such as an office or a shop front or anywhere where you serve customers face to face, you need to be including information about how your premises is accessible on your website. Now, this includes information such as whether you have disabled access toilets, ambulant toilets, wheelchair ramps, handrails on staircases, things like that. It also includes information about whether you have, for a restaurant, maybe a menu with large print for someone with low vision, whether you have any signage with braille or tactile signage. Do you have any quiet spaces for someone who might need a timeout for sensory overload reasons? Do you have a companion card policy? Do you have an assistance dog policy? Are your staff trained on working with people with disabilities? Do any of your staff know Auslan? Information like this can really help someone when they're deciding whether or not they're ready to engage with your business. Other resources that are really helpful include having photos of your premises, including photos of doorways and walkways, so that people can determine whether or not they're going to be able to move freely within your space. And having a floor plan or a map is also very helpful. Making this information really easy to find on your website is very important, so having it listed within your main menu, having it listed on your contact page and on your FAQ page, on key product pages if it's relevant. Wherever you think a person might be prompted to look, that's where you should give them an option to find this page. There are also a few things that you can do to make your website content more accessible for people with low or no vision. People who have vision impairments often use a screen reader to read the content of websites out loud to them. These screen readers rely on website creators using certain formats and coding to differentiate between headings from the rest of the text. These are called true headings, and it's basically a short piece of code that goes either side of a piece of text to identify that it is a heading or a subheading, and using these little pieces of code really help people to be able to interpret whether something is just a general part of the paragraph or if it is a heading and the start of a new section of a page. Using alt text on all of your images to describe what's happening in the image is also another really important thing for anyone who is using a screen reader. There are some guidelines outlined in the blog post associated with this video that will help you to do better with the descriptions of your images and using headings and other general website content tips to make your website more accessible. We've also listed a couple of other resources that might help you to make your business more accessible in general as well.